Okay, who here hasn't been to space?
What?
You better not throw up on my ship.
Approaching jump in 3, 2, 1.
There was a panel ABC's. It was called the ABC's on the red carpet storyteller spotlight, and it featured 3 separate panelists and creators of artists in Disney to share. Discuss diversity, and on one of those panels we had Letitia Wright, Winston Duke, and Nate Moore. Well, with that, we had Nate Moore that had this to say, and this is not old, this is 2022. Nate Moore had this to say about T'Challa and how he didn't understand what T'Challa and the Black Panther and what this franchise meant to the community, meant to black little boys, black little girls, and things like that. Mm-hmm. And how many times I'm gonna wait before I even say anything.
I think I understood the hunger for what this movie could mean for people really until Comic-Con that summer when we dropped the trailer, and you saw the response kind of across all communities and all age groups, and you went, oh, there might be something special there if we don't screw it up. Maybe people will dig this movie, and you don't realize what's not there until you're given it. And I don't think I realized that the amount of representation that wasn't there, especially for kids, until you saw kids for the first time go, oh, I see myself up there. And you realize, and I think we all know it, but to kind of relearn it was pretty powerful, because it's honestly not really even about Marvel at that point. It's just about kids. You know, I mean, adults are great, and I'm an adult, and I like movies, but like, it's about how fundamentally it was touching kids and showing kids that they could be superheroes because they could finally see themselves. And if they didn't see themselves, they saw characters who embraced their own culture so fully that they could embrace their culture no matter what that culture was. And I think sometimes that's not the message they're given. So it was kind of special for me, and I learned a ton.
Okay, sometimes I believe Nate Moore just be talking a lot. Honestly, sometimes I believe he's just up there and he's just talking. He's just saying things, because this is it never is on par with what he has previously said. It's never on par with something he has said in the past. Like, again, I've shown the interview of 2018 when he said, in order to love the Black Panther, you first have to love T'Challa. 2018. 2020 and all that rolls around, and I understand our brother Chadwick Boseman passed away. Rest in peace, Chadwick Boseman. I understand that. Brilliant actor. We've all talked about that. I don't need to go into his brilliance. We've talked about that. I understand that. But tone has changed, and even tone since 2020, 2021 has changed. This is recent. This is after D23. This is like last weekend. And he's saying this, like, he learned a lot. Did you? What did you learn, Nate? I don't think you learned. And you know, I'm going to always give credit where credit is fucking due. I will always give it where it's due. Everybody keeps saying, well, Nate Moore was one of the ones that ushered the Black Panther T'Challa into the MCU. He was the one that got him here. He did this, he did that. Congratulations, my brother. I appreciate you, and I give you the credit for it. But as I've said before, all skin folk ain't kinfolk. I've said that. Just because he did something good, just like when everybody with Kamala Harris was like, oh, we finally got a... No, yeah. All skin folk ain't kinfolk. She ain't looking out for the community like that. So, and I'm not saying that Nate Moore's not looking out for the community, but what he just said when he said he learned, did you? Because if you learned, why are we now turning around November 10th and about to watch this real life tragedy again? You know, that was something that I got called out for many times on the TikTok video. I've gotten called out for it in our comments down below in our YouTube videos with, stop bringing children into it. It's not about the children, and it's not this, and it's not that. But here's my thing, like I said with it. You just heard Nate Moore say, oh, he didn't realize that these kids were doing this, and how much the hunger that these communities and these black little boys, and how much they would look up at T'Challa and say, or not just T'Challa, any of these roles, and say, oh, I see myself. But I want to backtrack on that really quick. I know I'm going. I want to backtrack on that really quick. T'Challa, Chadwick Boseman himself has done interviews, and he has said, and I have the receipts, I could play it, but at this point it's like, why? But I have the receipts where Chadwick Boseman himself has said he wants little girls to see themselves in Letitia, in Denai, in the rest of them, in the rest of them, and the rest of the characters, in the Doras. Right. But at the end of the day, these are his words, not mine. I'm the main character. They need to be able to see themselves in me. Yeah. These little boys need to be able to look at me, look at the screen, and see themselves in T'Challa.
Right. Well, and that's something that's so cool that he did too. And again, yeah, let's not go too deep into just what Chadwick was saying, but I love, and we've played it on here, the interview where he was like, you know, talking about the little kids. You know, young
that's the interview.
But then he turns around and he's like, we have these little white Black Panthers.
Yeah.
Too. He brings up the importance of what this character means of black kids can look at me as a something to be, right? But he also is important. It's like, we have white people looking at this, white kids look at us just the same way. Yeah. That white kids can look and see a black lead male, a black superhero, and respect, and you know what I'm saying? It's not.
That's important for them to see
right,
as well.
But also, I just think he had this understanding of like, it's not exclusionary.
Right.
Where this was a movie for the black community, made by the black community, starring black actors, it was never meant to be exclusionary. It was, you can share in our culture, you can share in the understanding of Wakanda, this is for everyone.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's so, you know, us just talking about The Little Mermaid, that's the point that's so powerful to me, is it's like, you know, we want to cookie cutter things to keep things in boxes, right? It's that all white lady, good, they have that over there. They have their $1 billion movie over there.
Right.
Only the blacks get that,
right? Right. I said this last night. Go ahead.
Right. But it's like, but the thing is that the black community can take that and go, no, it's for all of us. Right. We can all, you can see our culture, you can see what we're about, you can help we can all raise each other up. The black community still goes and sees every goddamn Marvel movie with a white actor in it, right? Y'all come see us too. Let's all celebrate each other. Let's all lift up and tell great stories.
What we saw at the box office.
You can see here you can see a black man as king, as the leader of his uncolonized nation. Yeah. But at the same time, we can also see Captain America, who does great things for his nation. You know what I mean? It's not exclusionary. You know? And kids, that is why it's all about the kids.
It is.
And I will say fuck what anybody says on that aspect, because here's the deal. Me and you aren't going to sit here and play action, like we're not going to do that.
Right.
We're not going to play action figure games with our little, you know what I'm saying? But
I might.
But my son can go over to one of his friends' house, and they can play with their action figures. He has a T'Challa action figure. You know what I'm saying? He has this and that. It matters to kids. And also, I'm sorry, if we're going to ever start working on a less bigoted world, we need to be able to share these things together. And the whole point of it is showing children.
Right.
It's not about us adults. It's just fucking not.
Right.
It never has been. You want to know who made the MCU successful? When Marvel was going bankrupt, they went and found children and said, what are your favorite heroes? And that was this first Avengers lineup. Right. Children picked out what we were going to see in the first 4 phases of Marvel. So tell me it's not about the children. It's always has been. And just like Nate Moore was fucking saying that, sometimes I really do think he's out of his mind with that being something new. Because he's sitting there in 2022 going, I didn't realize.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Week to week, we get a different Nate Moore. Yeah. Next week, we're gonna get a different Nate Moore. The week after that, we're gonna get a different Nate Moore.
But he's just sitting there going, man.
The brother's confused.
I can't believe this meant.
He doesn't know what mantle he wants to put on.
As it did. When it's like, dog, did you not? You were the first $1 billion Marvel movie. What the fuck do you mean you don't realize the cultural impact it had?
But that's what I'm saying. He's full of shit. That's what I'm saying. Nate Moore is full of shit. That was for the cameras, the lights, and the journalist in front of him. Because when the lights went off, it was still, I don't give a. I'm not saying Nate Moore doesn't give a fuck about the character of T'Challa. I'm not saying that because one, I don't know the brother well enough to know what his inner thoughts are about T'Challa. Right. I'm just saying what he's displaying. This week to week, changing your mind and saying this one, saying what he said at that when he read the Black Panther comics, that it was about the mantle. That's what he got. But now this week you're saying, you see the importance of the character, you see the importance of this. Which one is it, Nate? Which is it? I mean,
and that's the thing too, because we can sit here and argue recast T'Challa all day fucking long, right, and have our points. And if Nate Moore would stick to one goddamn script, one story, then people could go, no, I agree with Nate's argument. But Nate has agreed with us, disagreed with us, talked about something totally separate.
Right.
He goes around in circles. So really, that's where, if you're going to the source material, the director, the guy, He doesn't fucking know what he's talking about. I really think he got really nervous when Chadwick died. He didn't know how to handle it, so he's trying to navigate it. I don't think he thinks I don't think he's like, this is the solid direction that I have to... He's kind of navigating, testing waters, trying different... And that's why I've always said, bro, don't kill him. Make him sick. Make him sick as fuck.
Make him off-world.
T'Challa or off-world.
Because even the sick thing doesn't make sense. He lives in fucking Wakanda. Why is he sick?
Well, no, in the comics, when Suri did don the suit in the beginning...
He was in a coma.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, yeah.
I'm saying make him so sick he's down.
Okay, I was going to say, you can do some a coma type shit, but
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Either have him in a coma or have him off-world. You can tell this whole story, and your reasoning for doing this is... And Nate Morgan made a very good point. I don't know how people would react if I recast right now. Right? And he
That's what I'm saying.
And he could come out and say that, and he'd go, hey, I'm trying to respect Chadwick. I don't know how people are going to react. I don't want his franchise to tank because of my decisions. So I'm off-world him. We're going to put him in a coma. We're going to do this whole thing with Suri and this and that. And then T'Challa will return.
Right.
He will return at some point when we feel ready. But to literally go, chop, done.
And,
dead,
again, we've talked about that. We've talked about that in the petition. The petition says, if anyone has ever gone to petition and read it, it says we're not calling for an immediate recast. It's not calling to see T'Challa in the next film. Hell, you can say anything. You can do anything. I've said this many times on this channel. Marvel changes things at the last fucking minute, and they will do it all the time. When something goes wrong in one of their films, they'll change it to fix it. They do it all the time.
They do weeks of reshooting with fucking multiverse.
Yes, and then they said that this is on the petition too. It says if Marvel Studios and this is the petition made by E-Man over at E-Man Movie Reviews. He said if Marvel Studios removes T'Challa, it would be at the expense of the audience, especially black boys and men who saw themselves in him. That also includes the millions of fans who were inspired by the character as well. That's what this is saying. So this is that's what Nate's saying, or Nate's saying there, saying that he all of a sudden I guess didn't realize the hunger or whatever for it. But again, you've got these black little boys, not just black little boys, but you've got these kids. I'm not even gonna put a color on it. You've got these kids. Yes, I'm gonna put a color on the looking up like this little boy seeing himself in T'Challa and things like that. But you've got this on him saying like, I get it now. Do you? Because now we're coming back to we mourned. We mourned 2 years ago. These kids, this is old. This is from 2020. These kids mourned 2 years ago. Not just the actor, but they also mourned the character. And now that they've done that 2 years ago, now you're inviting them. They did it for free there. Now you're inviting them back to the theater and saying, hey, we want you to pay to mourn for the second time. We're going to kill your hero again. Sorry about you. It's not about the kids, but these are literal kids. And I've done this before. I've had this conversation. But I'm bringing it back up because now this is, again, everybody's always telling me, well, Marvel this or Marvel. That's Marvel. That's Nate Moore saying that. Nate Moore's employed at Marvel. That's Marvel saying, but the kids are looking up. The kids are seeing themselves in Black Panther. The kids are seeing themselves in T'Challa. And I don't want anybody to get in the comments and tell me, because I saw a YouTuber talking about, I've seen all these people talking about recast T'Challa, talking about black representation, like we don't have black representation in the MCU. Like Marvel doesn't have other black heroes that they can pull from. I encourage you, without Googling, name 5 that these kids know. Do you think these kids know who... You think this little boy or any of these other kids know who the fuck Luke Cage is? And that's not a diss on Luke Cage. Do you think that these kids know who Brother Voodoo is? That's not a diss on Brother Voodoo. Static Shock or any of these, and I'm starting to name DC heroes. Do you think that they know who these heroes are? They don't. T'Challa is, and I saw somebody say that you've got all these other black heroes, but listen, T'Challa was made and walked so those black heroes could fly. Without him, there is no them. Understand that when you're making these comments saying like, oh, we still got this, we still got that. No, it is the character, the Black Panther, T'Challa. I don't care who dons the mantle. I don't care who's in your suit. It's the character. That's what they want. They want the character back. That's how important it is. And Nate Moore has this, he talked about that. That's again, I brought that up because it's Nate Moore talking about it. It's Nate Moore talking about children, because everybody came down my throat when I brought up the children, but talking about you don't know what Marvel wants to do. Yeah.
He's covering
you don't know what Marvel wants to do. Well, Marvel's speaking now. And Marvel is saying that they are Nate Moore. I'm putting him, including him with Marvel saying this. Oh, I didn't understand the hunger. I don't know why it took him. The movie came out in 2018. It's 2022. I don't know what took him so long to see the hunger.
Oh, and this is really the last thing I'll say on this one today. Is just, you can kill a character. Okay, well, I want that to be made clear. You can kill a character. You can write a really good, compelling story that ends with a character dying, right? And we all hate that character died, and we're so pissed, right? Mm-hmm. And that's what makes it good, right? That character, it could be a black man, it could be anybody, but they die for a purpose, and it tells a story, and it has a moral, and you fucking cry, and it's like, son of a bitch, and that person's sacrifice is never forgotten, or the lesson you learned, or the moral in it, right? That's all fine and good. If they want to kill T'Challa at some point in the MCU to give way to what the fuck ever comes next, right? They're allowed to do it.
They are.
And they can write a story that is really, really good and purposeful, and his death has plot, meaning, and there's depth to it. But what you're doing instead is just you're just killing him off for no reason because the actor died. There will be no purpose to T'Challa's death. There will be no lasting legacy of why it mattered that he died. Yep. It will be bullshit.
Yep.
He hasn't had the run that
Check the comments.
Tony Stark has. You can kill off Iron Man because he's done all this shit.
Yeah.
We were so early and we were so early into Black Panther. We were just scratching the surface of him as a character and of him in the context of the greater MCU. Like, we were just getting into it, and it's unfortunate that Chadwick Boseman died, and it's a tragedy, but there's still so much more to do with that character. We didn't get very far with him, so it's not...
Right, like I said, and there's so much more that could be fleshed out with T'Challa. I've said that so many times, and scrolling through these pictures, you see a plethora of different skin tones. You see black little boys, brown little boys, white little boys. There are so many kids that look up to this character. And there are little girls, too, that you've seen through this slide. And this is the last thing I'm going to say about it. We've even had viewers, some of our viewers, comment in the comments and say that they have children, and that what their children have personally felt from this, and that their children are personally hurt from this. Our most recent comment on our most recent recast video was someone saying that their 7-year-old overheard our video of him listening to it, and he said he completely agreed. And he said this himself. He said no one prompted his 7-year-old to say this. If that were Spider-Man, they wouldn't do this.
Yeah.
These are kids.
No, they're not stupid.
Yeah, they can
Exactly,
see it for what
but
it
people
is.
like to think that they are. People like to, because people were telling me in the TikTok videos, well, because I guess everybody assumed I have a child. I don't. But people were saying, explain death to your child. Death happens. Kids need to understand how death works.
Well, I mean,
this is fantasy, though.
Well, not only that, so my child is 7, right? And he does come at me sometimes with shit. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm not ready for you know what I mean? But my child knows what death is. We've lost a dog, and, my grandpa died. He knows what death is, right?
Yeah.
But, it's still, the purpose and the reason behind it, right? My son likes Black Panther, but it's not his favorite hero by any means, right? But I'm saying, imagine if this kid's favorite fucking hero.
That's what I'm saying. There are
Let's
kids
take him
out
to
there.
theater to watch your hero die.
That's what I'm mentioning. All these kids here.
I'm sorry, when I was 7 or 8 years old, Goku was the greatest thing that's ever existed to me. You know what I'm saying? In my head, I'm like, Goku can fucking whoop anyone's ass. He's a goddamn hero. He's the greatest thing that's ever existed. Cool, let's go to this movie to watch your hero die.
Yeah.
Come on, and that's not even the point of the movie. He's just gonna get killed. What? You know what I'm saying?
And that's the point. That's the point I was making with all the pictures in here.
Right. It's just and it's explain death to your kid. I can explain death to my kid, but I'm not looking forward to just having him watch his idol.
They've mourned. We did this in real life 2 years ago, and now Marvel's kicking you in the dick and saying, "Hey,
well, and not only
come
that,
pay to do it."
This one's different too because
scab healed?
Well, like when he died, when he was blipped, right? When he was blipped, you could immediately turn to your kid and be like, "They didn't kill all of them." Like clearly, and not every hero just died.
Yeah.
Like they're gonna come back. There's gonna be a way they come back. This one, it's like, yeah, he's fucking dead. He's not coming back.
Yeah, no. Like I said, it's like this. It's so my overall question that I'm ending this with is just, again, I'm not asking you guys this because we already asked this. I'm just saying it in general. He said it made him think about the kids. Did you really?
You're fucking finally.
Did you? I still don't think you're thinking about the kids, in my opinion. I don't, because it doesn't bode well to me to say, hey, children, because I'm not going to get into this in this video. Letitia Wright addressed, Letitia Wright, who is Shuri in the MCU, addressed the recast T'Challa hashtag. Marvel's aware. The actors and actresses are aware. Let's not act like these people don't see this stuff.
Right, yeah.
They're aware. She addressed it on the Van Lathan show. She talked about it. I didn't like her answer, but that's for another conversation. We'll talk about it. But they're aware of these things. And so with them being aware, they have seen, I'm sure they've seen pictures of children having these exact funerals. I'm sure they've seen different YouTubers talking about this and showing these type of pictures. So you can't tell me, oh, well now I'm thinking about the kids. Are you? Are you?
Right.
So that's my bitch for the day with Recast T'Challa. Because I've been saying it, I'm going to continue to say it. I'm going to say it November 10th. I'm going to say it November 11th. When I see the film, if it bodes the way that I think it's going to go, and T'Challa is really, really gone, and this is not something that Marvel goes in at the last minute, because we've seen that they're doing reshoots and things still with Wakanda Forever. Marvel goes in at the last minute and changes something, then T'Challa is going to die. And if T'Challa does die and his run in the MCU is done, I'm going to bitch about it. Every time we bring up Wakanda, every time we bring up the Black Panther, expect me in the background to say, oh, but T'Challa. Oh, over here, T'Challa. Oh, what, but the franchise, T'Challa. We just talked about why the fuck the Sonyverse isn't doing good. Oh, Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Your franchise's main fucking character. So yeah, bruh. Yeah, so anyway, that was what Nate Moore had to say about it. And that was our last topic of the day. So, but I always pose this question. Let us know down below what you guys think. What are you thinking? Are you thinking to yourself, hey, no, I don't agree. I think that they shouldn't recast T'Challa. I don't think it's about the kids. I mean, because there's going to be so many of you that come down anyway. And yes, you right there, you that always tunes into these recast videos, you right there, I'm talking to you. It's okay, because no one's telling anyone to recast the character right now. No one's telling anyone that this needs to be misogynistic or any of the other bullshit that you guys always come in with. It's not about that. It's about the children. It's about the character. It's just fantasy. That's all it's about. So, like I said, let us know down below in the comments what you guys think of that. And that is...